Happy Broadway Week! Today we're doing something a little bit different. When I saw that it was Broadway Week, I was like, there's probably some people out there who want to go see something but don't know what to see. And I was like, you know what? I think I have done the legwork. I think I can help y'all out. So this video is gonna cover 3 things and we're gonna make this quick. I'm not even in full glam. First, I'm gonna tell you what shows are on sale. Second, I will tell you how the tickets work if that's something you're curious about. And then last but not least, I will get into what shows I recommend you see. And of course, I will tell you why. Hi, hello, welcome to Black Star Reviews. We are all ready for Broadway Week. Have you done it before? Do you know how it works? Do you know what you want to see? If you don't know the answers to any of those questions, you're in the right place. I'm gonna answer them for you. But a quick introduction for anyone who is new to my channel. My name is Anastasia X, and I am the founder, host, editor, writer, researcher of Black Star Reviews. I love art almost as much as I love Black people, so I started Black Star Reviews to shine a light on the work of Black creatives in New York City and beyond. And I wanted to make sure that there was somebody talking about the wonderful, wonderful work that so many Black people are doing on Broadway, in museums, in galleries, off Broadway, so theaters, museums, and beyond. But mostly in New York City. But I figured I would hop on here real quick to get y'all ready for Broadway Week. So here we are, let's get into it. What I appreciate about Broadway Week is that unlike Restaurant Week, they're giving you the real deal. Like, if you haven't done Restaurant Week in New York City, I was so excited the first time that I went, and I was quickly let down because I realized that you're not getting the same food at a lower price. You're getting their food appropriate for your price point. So there's going to be a prefix menu. If you order a steak, it's going to be low-key pre-cooked. They're not even going to give you the best menu options. It's going to be small portions. But the good news is, when you do New York City Broadway Week, you're getting the same show as the people who paid full price for their tickets. And in that case, those people are like a little bit suckers because they got a great, great sale. So Broadway Week is not cutting any corners. You're going to get the full show. You're going to get the full shebang. And it's a great way to save some money and also see something that maybe you've been wanting to see. As I said, I am rooting for Everybody Black.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for Everybody Black. I am.
So I have made it my mission to see as many shows that feature all Black casts or Black stars as financially and temporally, that's time-wise, possible. So I'm gonna run through the list of the shows that are on sale, and I'm gonna tell you which ones have representation. So Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, no. Redwood, also no. And Juliet, no. The Great Gatsby, no. Hell's Kitchen, yes. Put a pin in that. Maybe Happy Ending, A Wonderful World, the Louis Armstrong musical, pretty obvious. Yes, put a pin in that one, we're coming back to it. Six, the musical, medium. Death Becomes Her, put a pin in that one, we're gonna talk about it. The Book of Mormon, no, y'all. Chicago, no. Hadestown, this one is tricky, it's like kind of. I wouldn't personally see it during Broadway Week. I would wait because Merle Dandridge is going to be filling in pretty soon. So I'm going to see it then. But you can see it now if you want to. Okay, next we have Aladdin. No. MJ the Musical. Put a pin in it. We will talk about it. Oh, Mary. Heard Good Things. Doesn't have anything to do with what we're looking for. Eureka Day. Hamilton. Moulin Rouge. Also no. The Lion King. Maybe. But it's sold out anyway for Broadway Week. Wicked, also sold out, and Green does not count. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, no. English, no. Cult of Love, no. Left on 10th, no. Last page. Romeo and Juliet, Audra Gypsy, yes. Put a pin in that, we will talk about it. Sunset Boulevard, let's talk about that one too. So those are the 27 shows that are participating in Broadway Week. And like I said, 2 of them are already sold out. So for the other shows, let's get started because you need to move on these tickets if you want to get them. Okay, so maybe you already heard the name of the show you want to see. How do the tickets work? Broadway Week is not actually a week, just like Restaurant Week is not a week, Fashion Week is not a week. We like to stretch things out here, so it basically lasts forever. But just kidding, it's only from January 22nd to February 9th. The tickets actually went on sale already on January 7th, so we are a little late on the uptake, but that's all right because there will be another Broadway Week later on this year. So it's not just one Broadway Week in the winter, it's another one later, and it's also not only a week long. So the tickets are offered at 2 different prices. So the first price is what you've probably seen on posters around the city where it says like tickets are 2 for 1. And so you can buy them at the price you buy one, get one free, a little BOGO. The other option is you pay $125 for an upgraded seat. So what is an upgraded seat? Do I want the upgrade? If you're anything like me, you buy upgrades not even knowing what they'll be because you're like, well, I don't want to risk not enjoying my experience. So an upgraded ticket means that you're going to get like a really good seat. You're probably going to be in the orchestra in the center. If you do the 2 for 1 tickets, those are the ones that they're trying to move, right? So if you were trying to buy a pair of shoes and you saw they had a buy one, get one free, that's because they're trying to get those shoes out so they can move some new shoes in. So think about the same thing when it comes to the Broadway tickets. If you've ever bought a rush ticket before or a student ticket or a $30 for people under 30 type ticket, same areas. If you've sat there before and you liked it, you'll be fine. But chances are for the 2 for 1, you're either going to be in the balcony or the mezzanine, or you're going to be on the side of the orchestra. I've sat in all of these places. It has never, ever once ruined my experience in the theater. Theaters are created so that everyone can have a good experience. Some people are going to have a better experience than others, but it doesn't mean that if you sat in the back of the balcony, you can't see anything at all. So if price is a consideration, don't be afraid to just do the 2 for 1 and see where you end up. Okay, so to buy the tickets, you go to the New York City Broadway Week website, nyctourism.com/Broadway-week/ and that is the website where you can directly click the button for buy tickets or buy upgrade. If you already know what show you want to see and you don't want to scroll through all the options, you can go straight to the website of the show that you want to see, and you can use one of 2 promo codes. So the promo code for buy one, get one is BWAYWEEK25, BWAYWK25. And the promo code for the upgrade, again, those are like better seats at $125 each, is BWAYUP25. So BWAYUP25. You can either click the links on the website or you can go to the show's web pages, websites on your own and enter in that promo code to take advantage of the savings. Oh, you'll be able to choose your day. So you don't have to worry about like ending up in some strange lottery where you're like, no, I'm not free that day. You will get to choose your day. So you have between January 21st, the first availability, to February 9th to choose a day and a seat and a show that works for you. So that is how the tickets work. Now it's time to get into my recommendations. Here we go. All right, recommendations. This is what I do, y'all. You're in such good hands. I will give you my honest opinion of all of these shows. Honesty is important to me. So we're going to go in alphabetical order of the shows I said let's put a pin in. So the first is Death Becomes Her. I have this playbill because I went to the show. This show is about 2 women who are trying to kill each other because they think they're in love with the same man, and they're also trying to compete for his attention by becoming as beautiful and youthful as possible. I can't tell you anymore without giving the show away, but Michelle Williams plays the villain. This was one of those shows where I didn't think I was going to see it. My homegirl texted me and was like, hey, do you want to see Michelle Williams on Broadway? And I said, white Michelle Williams or black Michelle Williams? And she said, girl, black Michelle Williams. I said, what? And she sent me a clip. This clip has been doing numbers on the internet of Sherry Shepherd interviewing Michelle Williams. about her performance in this show.
What's another one, baby? Oh my gosh, watching Deb becomes her last night, I couldn't stop screaming.
I said, that ain't nobody out there but Sherry. The sound man said, we've got some screamers.
Beyonce has seen this show because she went to go support Michelle. But all that aside, this show was really hilarious. Like, Michelle Williams is one of the only major Black characters in this show. But, like, she holds a lot of weight in the community. And she gets a decent amount of stage time in the vocals. It's Michelle Williams. Like, this is an opportunity to go see Michelle on Broadway. And it's a lighthearted story. It's a very fun time. It is not for kids. This is not a family show. But it's a great, like, girls' night type thing, great date night type thing. So this show honestly surprised me. I didn't review it because there's just not enough there in terms of Black art. But if we're talking about Black performers, Black stars, Michelle Williams is going to give you everything you need. I would recommend seeing this show. Okay, next recommendation is Gypsy. If you live in New York City, you've seen subway ads, bus ads, literally everywhere, all the time. Audra, Gypsy. I had to work so hard to get these tickets. So usually I can email the theaters and ask them, can I come review the show? And then it's all handled for me. And that's always really nice when it happens. So thank you to all the theaters who have ever supported me in reviewing a show. But for this one, they said, no, girl, we ain't got it for you, because they don't need it, really. So I went to the box office, not once, not twice, but 3 times, getting earlier each morning to try to get a rush ticket to see Gypsy. And like I said, it took me 3 tries to make that happen. This show is about an unhinged woman who wants her daughters to become, just one daughter to become a star, because she didn't get a chance to in her own heyday. And hijinks ensue. They cross the country trying to break onto the vaudeville circuit. And it's about her doing basically anything it takes to get her children to fame. Now, the disappointment, aside from being turned away twice from the box office for a rush ticket, was I actually didn't love this show. Like, I honestly feel like there's something wrong with me, that I'm the problem. Why I didn't like it? I don't even really want to make my full review of this show. I will, but I don't want to, because I know people are going to be like, how could you dislike this show? But that is exactly how I feel about it. Now, I'm not saying you should see it. There are actually 3 conditions in which I think you should see the show, but you need at least 2 conditions to be true. Okay, so it's a point system. You need at least 2 of the 3 points for this show to be for you. You get 1 point if you are really a big fan of Audra McDonald and you've seen her on Broadway before and you want to see this show as a point of comparison to what you've already seen her do. Okay. Give yourself a point if you've seen the show Gypsy before and you love the music, you love the story, you find it to be a rousing tale of Americana. Give yourself a point for that. Give yourself a point if you love musical theater. You're just like an OG theater buff. You've seen it all. You love the classics. If that is the case, give yourself a point. So if you don't have at least 2 points, I don't think you're going to really enjoy this show. I went with 1 point, right? I loved Audra. I wanted to see her. And Audra delivered. She did what Audra does. But the rest of the show, I was like, what is this? Why did this ever become a story? There's a weird dynamic between the mom and the daughter. There's a weird dynamic with like the stepdad. And the ending of the show, I was like, okay, so you pushed your daughter to the front to be a burlesque? Okay. It didn't click for me. I'm not telling you not to see it. And on another day, I will fully explain my reasons for why it was not the show that I hoped that it would be. Okay, next we have A Wonderful World. No, that's not next. We're going in alphabetical order. Okay, next, Hell's Kitchen. This show is loosely based on Alicia Keys' real life and retells the story of what it was like to grow up in the neighborhood of Hell's Kitchen in New York City, and it's all set to music that we know of Alicia. So any Alicia song you can think of, and even ones that you haven't heard of, if you haven't been a recent listener, It's in this show. I wanted to dislike this show. Like, I went in and was like, this is about to be corny. I loved it. Now, I only gave it 3 stars. But that doesn't mean I didn't like the show. And I think this is one of those ones where you really can't go wrong. Like, when you think of a Broadway musical and you're like, I want to see people sing their hearts out, and I want to see some dancing, and I want to leave with like a song in my heart, this show is going to do it for you. It is going to do it for you. It's been really popular. A lot of people have loved it. People who I recommended it to have told me they loved it. So Hell's Kitchen, I think, is a very, very solid choice. The chances of you going to the show and not enjoying it are very, very slim, like close to 0. There's something in this show for everyone, I think, whether you're an Alicia fan or not. Which leads us to MJ the Musical. There's also a inside. This show takes us back to the moment that Michael Jackson is planning for his very big tour, and he's trying to get the show together, but everybody's in his face telling him they don't think the tour is going to work out. They don't think it's a good idea to donate to charity, but MJ is like, you know what? I have a vision, and I've been through worse, so I'm going to make it all the way to the top. So it's about a moment in his life, but he flashes back enough that we get a little bit of young MJ, Jackson 5 type era. Now, I'll be honest with y'all. I didn't want to see this show. I was actually offered tickets, and I said, you know, why not? But this is one of those ones that I probably never would have seen on my own, because I stopped listening to Michael Jackson at least 10 years ago, right? Like, because of all of the allegations. I was in the theater crying because this show gave me Michael back. And what I mean by that is I knew every word to every song they were singing, but I had not sang those songs in years. And of course, the show is sympathetic towards Michael as like a complex character, talks about all he was up against in his childhood. There's some light addressing of the allegations. Of course, the show takes the position that they're categorically false. But this show touched something in me that I hadn't felt in a really long time. And if you enjoy Michael's music and you've been listening to him nonstop, you'll love this show. The dancing is impressive for obvious reasons. The like big scenes are cool. Of course, they're gonna dance Thriller. This is a pretty good choice. For me, it was sentimental. I think for, audiences at large, it's a good show. Full review coming soon. All right, last but not least, we have A Wonderful World, the Louis Armstrong musical. I saw this within the last month. The show opened recently. It had its world premiere in Miami, and then it made its way to New York. This show tells the story of famed jazz musician and trumpeter Louis Armstrong through the lens of his 4 wives. And it starts with him as a young jazz man in New Orleans and ends with his life ending in New York. Spoiler alert, Louis Armstrong is deceased. So the show ends with his unfortunate death. From what I can tell, it's been doing pretty well. And I liked this show when I went to go see it. Like, I was in the stands like, okay, this is cute. Really impressed by the choreography. The vocals, I don't even know where they found these people because they can really, really sing. Now, I gave this show 3.5 stars. And again, that's not because I didn't like it. It's just because I felt like there were some factual things that were not fully addressed in the show. And if you want to know more about that, you can watch my full review, the Louis Armstrong musical. I did some research. I dug through the archives that they have available from the Louis Armstrong House Museum. So if you want to know more about my thoughts on this, watch that review. But again, this is a very enjoyable show. So those are my recommendations. If you want to see something Black or support someone Black, those are the shows that I would tell you to go see. These. These ones. These are the ones. But let's talk about money. Let's talk about money. Now, I know we have some Maxinistas out there who are like, but which one of these is going to be the best deal? And I'm glad you asked. if you don't already know, numbers related to Broadway shows, like grosses, are public information. You could look it up just like I did, but don't worry, I did it for you already. Now, if you're trying to figure out which one of these shows is the best one to do 2 for 1 because you're gonna save some money, here we go. So the bottom is Wonderful World. So right now the average ticket price for a Wonderful World is $97. So if you do 2 for 1, you're gonna save $97. After that, we have Hell's Kitchen at $107. So that's how much money you would save on a 2 for 1 average ticket price. Death Becomes Her, the average ticket right now is $119. MJ the Musical, the average ticket is $126. And no surprise, Gypsy is the most expensive show in terms of average ticket price right now. And that number is $141. So the best opportunity to save would be to see Audra McDonald in Gypsy. For my money girlies. For my boss babes and bros. Now, which shows would I recommend? If you a little bit out of the theater game, you ain't been to a theater in a minute, I would say watch something that's like, it's gonna be good. You're gonna have a good time and you're gonna come out feeling positive. And so for those reasons, my top 2 are Hell's Kitchen and A Wonderful World, the Louis Armstrong musical. If I were gonna see a show, these would be the ones I would do for 2 for 1. The other shows are good too. I'm not telling you not to see them. I'm just saying what I would see. Okay, so that is my rundown on Broadway Week. Remember, you can get your tickets online. Quick housekeeping, Off-Broadway Week is coming up. That will be running from February 17th to March 9th, and I personally prefer Off-Broadway Week because I love when we can get like a little quirky. And those go on sale on February 4th. So if you're interested in me doing a rundown of Black shows for Off-Broadway Week, you can leave a comment and I will consider doing that. I can't make you a promise. Given the information that I have right now. If you want to know more about what I do, or to watch more of my reviews, or to be updated when my Gypsy review drops or my MJ the Musical review drops, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. I don't only do Broadway shows, I also do tours and recaps of museum exhibitions. I just did one of Edges of Ailey at the Whitney, so you can check that out. That's already posted. You can follow me on social media. I will tell you a secret that I am getting ready to phase out my Instagram because I'm gonna get off all Meta platforms, but you can follow me there for now because I will give directions on where I'm headed next through that platform. So you can follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on TikTok, you can follow me on Blue Sky, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you wanna know more of my thoughts on art. And I look forward to hearing from you. I hope that you are able to save some money and see something really, really cool. This is the perfect time of year to do that. So whether you live in New York City or you're from out of town, I hope to see you on Broadway in the audience. And if you see me, don't be shy, say hi. And thank you so much for watching. Happy Broadway Week!